Okay.
All right, it's official.
It is. So we are a official dealer of Green Stuff World, which of course has their green stuff putties, which they're most famous for. Also the blue stuff, which I've shown before.
Yeah.
You just heat it up and you can replicate items. But they have a lot of different types of sculpting and modeling accessories as well. And been able to pick out a few of those with some of the stuff that just popped in. So one of those popular ones is,
what do you think?
Yep, green putty. So green putty is great because there's a reason for it being green.
Yep.
Idea is a lot of putties are grey and white.
Yes.
Which is great in itself because it's the same sort of colours you use for a primer, but it's not so great because plastics are normally white and grey too. So when you apply it, you can't see where it is.
That's right.
So the green, when you apply it, you can actually see exactly where it's filling and how heavy it's become. And then this particular stuff is also very easy to use because it has a very narrow applicator. So you squeeze it directly in areas and then manipulate it. And it's also water-based.
That's right.
So being water-based, it doesn't have the strong smell.
Yep.
And it can also be thinned down with water so that when you apply it into a gap, for instance, if you've got excess on the edges, you can just wet your finger or cotton wool bud with water, wipe it straight off.
No.
So when it fully sets, there's hardly any sanding involved. So that's very popular, a very inexpensive type of putty. I'm showing you the dealer pack, obviously. So when you buy it, you only get the one, which is all you need.
Yep.
So that's one of the most popular things that they have. Apart from that,
this is coming back in stock after a long time.
Yeah, it's really interesting because I never really knew if this would be popular. So it's called scratch brushes. So each one of these colors, the handle itself they're just different colors, so you recognize the different fitting inside. And these will have different types of bristles in them.
Yep.
Some are fiberglass, some are copper, brass, and they're generally used for texturing putty. So if you're sculpting, say minis, a lot of people are getting into that now with green stuff. You use this and you can just either dab it on, it'll give you a fur type finish, or you can get a sort of skin paw mark type finish as well. So that's very interesting. Okay, so you got 5 to choose from. Okay, so apart from that, we've got back in stock
electric tape, conductive tape.
Yeah, which has been quite popular. Okay, so recently we've got the conductive paint. So in conjunction with the conductive paint, you can use the conductive tape as well. And it's very easy to run electricals within your model for doing lighting. So I mean, traditional method is you just use wires. Wires end up absolutely everywhere. Look like a rat's nest on the inside of your model.
That's true.
But with this, because it's adhesive, you can stick this on the edges.
Yep.
And you can actually have two very, or basically your polarized lines. You get your positive and negative, and you run that all the way. And then from there, you can have your little wires coming off it. Makes it a lot simpler. So that's the copper tape back in stock. We've got these. They look like paintbrushes, but they've actually got silicone tips on them. And these are used for sculpting. So traditionally use wire type tools. They'll give a very sharp edge. And then when you want to soften it, you use these flexible tips, because this is how you get your really smooth skin tones. And then also for doing the creases in fabric. So 5 different shapes here and different sharpnesses. And they're proved very popular too. So there's 3 different hardnesses you can get too. Pretty sure the black ones are the stiffer ones. Okay, and then we've got magnets.
Again.
Yep, one of the most popular items they have. These are 4 different sizes and quite common for using them for assembling minis. So, so particularly if they've got different armament, different weapons, it's easy to put one magnet within the arm and then another one within the weapon, or it could be the whole arm onto the torso.
Yeah, I've seen that quite a few. Yeah,
and even heads, you can change the direction. So very simple to use. So these are rare earth magnets. They've got quite a bit of power on them. And there's 50 in each pack, which is quite a lot.
And it's quite a few different sizes.
Yes.
From really tiny one, like 3 millimeters by 0.5 millimeter.
Yep.
Super small.
Yep. And these ones are the 3x1s. So 3x1s, you probably want something a bit thicker if you need a bit more power.
That's right.
Yeah. So they're great. So we've got all the sizes back. From there, we've got brown stuff.
We haven't had this for a very long time.
It's been a while.
Back.
Yes. Okay, so the brown stuff works the same as the green stuff, except it has a different feel. So it's got it's a coarser, heavier feel. The green stuff is a more plastic, smooth feel.
That's right.
And you could even combine both of them to get an in-between feel as well. So I guess when you're doing the bulk of your sculpting, quite often you don't need anything super fine yet, and you can start putting your green stuff on top of this later when you get all your finer details. So brown stuff's back. And then this is one of their new products. This is they call it Maxx Matt. So this is a clear, but it's super matte.
Wow.
Okay, and that's what a lot of guys want when they're painting and finishing, because quite often when you apply clears, it can always look semi-gloss. And it's that slight sheen that sort of puts it off a little bit. So this is like the most matte you'll be able to get out of a water-based varnish. So it's good to have that in. Yeah. And that's just a few of the things I picked out, but there's a lot more stuff coming.
There's several boxes there.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So we actually have a few questions here.
Sure.
So, Kaiju Short is asking, I think he's referring to your the brushes here.
These ones? These scratchy things?
Scratchy things.
Yes.
And he's asking if it's more of a stem tool as opposed to a brush. So maybe a pop that.
So you could use it in both ways, right? So let's see if I can. So you might see it poking out. I don't know if you can see there. Is it focusing?
Too fast. Oh, here we go.
So this is the wire one. See how rough it is? So as I spin it, it's coming out. Okay, so you can use that for stamping, and you can also use that for scratching. Okay, so you can use it like this, or you can just press it down like this. Either way. And you can see how the bristles in it are really rough. So it gives a very random effect. So that's one type. And then over here we've got I'm spinning it the right one. This one looks like a fiberglass one.
Ah, yes.
Oh, that's a fiberglass one. Okay, so I'm going to be careful with this one because fiberglass sort of sticks in your skin and it gets really irritable. Yeah. Okay, so fiberglass is a little bit smoother. Okay, so yellow one. This is the copper one. So it's similar shape to, is it copper or brass? Probably brass.
Brass, probably, yeah.
So it's got a slightly different feel. So as you're scratching, you'll get different surface
Patterns
textures. Yep. And then we have that looks like a nylon.
Nylon synthetic, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so this feels like a toothbrush. Okay, but it's a lot more controllable because it's much tighter. And then obviously, if you have it tighter like this too, it's going to feel stiffer.
Yes.
Yeah.
True.
And then the last one, the red one. Oh, that's another fiberglass one.
Yes, looks like.
Oh, maybe the other one was a broader one.
It feels more dense, actually.
Yeah. Okay, so they'll act a bit like an eraser. Okay.
And then there's another question. So Anthony's asking, how do we attach wire to the conductive tape?
So the conductive tape, easiest way would be to solder onto it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you don't solder onto it, you could probably use the conductive paint.
Yes.
But it's not going to be as strong.
Very strong. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very good. So, and that's for green stuff.
That's green stuff. Yes.
So,
yeah.
Official dealers.
Yes.
Finally.
That's it.